Hello and welcome back to the channel. So everyone's well, as you can see, I've got a new machine in front of me. So this is my new HusqvarnaR rider. Now you might be thinking, well, I only bought a new one about 6 months ago. Well, I've had it for like say 6 months and I've decided that it wasn't really the best suited for me. It didn't tick all the boxes for me. So I've decided to go up to the next level and get the biggest rider that's on the market and that I can afford. So I'm going to show you around this machine and give you a bit of the first impressions, if you like, and some of the specs on it and how you operate it, and give you my thoughts at the end. I will be doing a full review on this ride-on, hopefully next year in the springtime, because it's now the end of November and I've only had this a week. I've not put any grass with it yet. I've only really drove it a little bit, to do it a little bit of a test out. And yeah, so once I've used it properly in spring, I'll give you a full review of it and my opinion on it. But for now, I'll give you a first impressions and an overview of the specs. Right, so what we're going to do is we'll start from the front and work our way to the back. So first of all, looking at the deck. So the deck I've chosen for is the concrete 122cm deck, and it's something that they call an X interchange attachment frame, which allows you to drive in and out of attachments without the use of any tools. Now, what that allows you to do is obviously you can put different attachments on, whether that's the flail mower, the cutting deck, the broom, and you haven't got to fiddle about with belts or anything like that. All you do is you just lift that up, he says, and then just pull it out and then up. I'll demonstrate how to do that later on. But yeah, so it's a lot wider deck than my 316. So before I had the 103 centimetre deck on the 316 rider. So I've gone for the biggest deck only because I've got a few lawns where it's about 2.5 acres of cut. So moving on up, we've got the exact same forward and reverse pedal. And then here is your height to cut. So on the 316 you had 10 height to cut, this one's only got 7, but that doesn't really matter, doesn't really make any difference to me. So before on the 316 you lift that up and then drop it down. On this one it's all hydraulically done, so you lift it up and then push it down, you can see it going down as so. It is quicker when you start the engine up, but for now. And then to engage your PTO shaft, so whether that be the broom or the blades turning, just pull that up and that engages them, and you'll see on the dash a little PTO thing. I'll just turn these up, just little keys, and then I'll show you. Right, so what we're going to do is just turn the ignition on, and you'll see the dashboard comes up, and you can see that the PTO shaft is engaged via that one there. And now if I just push this button down here, I just press that down and the PTO shaft will go off. That means that your blades are disengaged, because on the other one, when you lowered the deck, the blades were automatically engaged. On this one it's different, you do have to lower the deck and engage the PTO, but I prefer that. So the light will come on as you've just seen, push that down and the light will go off. You've got two 12-volt outlet sockets versus one on the 316 TSX all-wheel drive. So yeah, so to turn these on, you just press them on and off. This switch here, I'm not 100% what this does, but what I've been told is that you can switch between the two. So if you want the left one, you press the left one. If you want the right one, you press the right. That's what I believe is right. I don't know, I've not used them yet. Here is your light switch. So before, the side lights was on the key on the ignition. On here you press that on, and that turns your side lights on, and then press it again and that puts main beam on. And then again, just to turn them off, you press it all the way down. And then back down here you've got a choke, so pretty much the same as the old one. It's just that these are different, the way they are shaped. The handles much more comfier, well, in what I believe. So that's full choke, and then that's off choke all the way, and then your RPMs is exactly the same, but again a better design of grip on the throttle handle. So again, full revs and then off, and then when I start it up, you'll see that the RPM changes on the digital display. When it's running, it doesn't. It obviously doesn't show it now because the engine's not running. Down here, you've got a weight transfer engagement. It's called. It's for when you're using heavy attachments. So if you're using like the flail mower, that is when you engage it. And for me, I have the trailer attachment. So if I want to go around my village doing lawns and I don't need the cutting deck, then I can just drive out the cutting deck and then engage the weight transfer. So that puts the weight at the front of the mower. And if I've got the trailer on, I've got the weight at the back so that I don't tip over. And if you look on the screen, you can see it's got like a weight and it says off. That's saying that the weight transfer is off, as you can see there. And then on this one as well, you've got a digital readout on how much fuel you've got, which is a lot better. On the other one, it only bleeped when you had half an hour of fuel left, but now it goes up in 10%. So obviously you go 10, 20, 30, 40, so on, etc. And then it goes down like while the machine's running. So again, that's a lot better. You're not having to worry about if you're going to run out or such a thing. You can fill up and know that you've got enough to last you the day. The tyres are a lot bigger and chunkier, and these are what they call Turf Torque tyres. They are different to the 316. What I also do like is in here you've got like the Husqvarna logo, where before it was a grey cap that went over it and there was nothing on it, but on that one it's got like a little symbol which makes it quite nice, and by the looks of it, it does spin round. So yeah, the tyres are a lot bigger and a lot chunkier, and then again tyre a lot bigger and chunkier and the same. Round here you've got a maximum weight of 25 kg, as you can see there, and then that allows you to put a cargo holder on. There's an accessory that you can buy. It's around about £100, the cargo holder. I have ordered one, and then that just sits on there, and you can put accessories, whether it's your sandwiches or if you want to. Obviously, a lot of things are going battery powered now, so maybe if you've got a strimmer or a head cutter with batteries, you can put the batteries inside the cargo holder and connect it to the 12-volt outlet socket down there. And you can charge your batteries during work on the ride-on, which is what it is meant for. But obviously I don't have many battery-powered equipment yet, so I'll probably carry my sandwiches or maybe a blower or whatever. So on the back you've got a bigger counterweight. Now there is an accessory that you can buy that's called a counterweight. So again, if you're using a heavy attachment at the front, you can put a counterweight on the back. I'm not going to buy that. I don't see the need to. The only attachment I use on the back is the flail mower. The trailer, and then possibly like the sweeper. I'm thinking of buying, but it's not a heavy attachment. Also, the tow bar. It's got a maximum towing capacity of 150 kg. On the other one, I could only tow 100 kg, so I've got 50 kg more I can tow. You've got a bigger, stronger, sturdier bracket here that holds this up, so that allows you to tow more weight. Again, the muffler, the exhaust now comes out, where before it was more here. So that's a different exhaust. I don't know if it's because it's a different engine or not, but it is different. Okay, so working our way around. It's got a pin. You just pull this out simply. If it breaks down, you can pull that one out, and then you can push the machine in case if your drive breaks or whatever and you need to get it on the van. You just pull that out and it allows you to push it up. So we're going to leave that engaged because obviously it's driving. Around here, onto the fuel tank. So this is a better fuel tank in my eyes, where before it was more down there with the 316. This one is up here. Nice big fuel tank. I believe this holds 18 litres of fuel. On the other one it holded 12 litres. This is a lot better as well, because you just turn it twice and it's on a string as well, so you don't lose it. So that's nice. And in there it says do not overfill, and it allows you to use the Husqvarna 20 litre fuel can with the no spill nozzle, and it fits in there perfectly. And then all you do is lock this, turn this round, and then you'll hear a click. There you go, and that just locks in. Turn it there, and then again back to the tyres. A lot more bigger, sturdier tyres. I really do like the tyres. I feel like that's going to avoid turf marking with it being turf torque tyres. Okay, and then cup holder, pretty much the same, a little bit of a different design, but again it's nice, easy access to get to when you're sitting on the seat. And then here you've got the parking brake, which is exactly the same as the other one, no changes there. And of course the deck is different to the 316 with it being the X interchange attachment frame. So now I'm going to set on the mower and I'll show you some of the features in action. Right, so now I'm sitting on the mower. As you can see, the seat is different. The seat is a lot different. This is what they call Husqvarna's premium seat. It is suspension. It has got the self-suspension on it. It's not air pressured, but it is a suspension seat, better than the one that you had on the 316. Now, okay, so as you can see, if you cameraman comes around here, you can see sitting on the seat, controls are really easy to access, revs easy to do from the driver's seat, hydraulics easy to do, 12 volt, whatever one you want, lights, switch, PTO engagement, on and off, and then height of cut. What I like about the height of cut is, I know on the 316 it does have the height of cut here, but on my 100 series rider it has it down at the front by the deck, and I prefer it at the seat because you can just adjust it wherever you want, and happy days, away you go. So like I say, everything is easy to access. And then yeah, so I'll show you the engine now. So going back to the seat again, like I say, it's very spongy seat. It's what, like I say, they call premium seat. Very nice, different armrests, they fit around here, rather before they were fitted round there, and you have to drill holes here. It's all tucked away and it's nicely kept. So going back to the seat then, before you had a spring that came out here, and then you used to have a micro switch there, and then what that used to you have to do is sit far back on the seat. Now with me only being 5'2", it was quite hard for me, even if I had the seat fully forward. Sometimes I'd be driving and then the engine would cut out because I'm not sitting far back on the seat. But on this one they've put the micro switch here, not there, so that is a different design, and I feel that's a lot better for me, because obviously if I'm sitting there, a lot of my weight's there, I'm sitting on the micro switch, so that's a good design, well, for me personally. And then these, you can adjust these to how high you want the seat up, adjust them both backwards, whichever way you want. And then yeah, so again the seat is very comfy, and you know, you can sit on it with hours and hours without any fatigue. So now showing you the engine then. So you use your little key, this one you get supplied with it when you buy the rider. So on the other one you'd have just one of these here, you've now got two of these on the right and left side. So you just push down, you have to use quite a bit of force, he says, there you go, and then again quite a bit of force, there you go, just like so. And as I say, with it being new, it's all obviously quite you know, it's quite stiff at the moment. So what you do is just lift that up, and that brings you into the engine. Now as you can see, the engine is obviously a lot bigger. So here you've got the hydraulics. This is like a cooler for the hydraulics, and again the engine is pretty much the same. It's a twin cylinder Kawasaki engine. It's the FS651V engine, and I believe this has about 19.5 horsepower. The other one had roughly around 12.5 horsepower, so it's a bigger engine, more power, obviously a lot better. Battery, exactly the same. There is only one thing I would say, is on the excuse me, on the Husqvarna Rider Pro 15 that I've had, they had like a cover that sat over the battery, and I feel like that would be a good idea again, just to put maybe a cover on there, just to keep all these electrics, you know, free from getting covered in grass or whatever it might be. So yeah, as you can see, the engine's a lot bigger, and like I say, it's more powerful, which is good. And then that's your hydraulics. Obviously that you'll only get on the machines that have hydraulics. I'd never had that before on my 316. And then here down the side you've got the model number, and obviously the brand Husqvarna. And then this is on like a when you open the car bonnet on your car, it's like spring assisted. This is on a spring, so it doesn't snap down. It just gently goes down like so, and you know it's not rattling around or anything. And like with these clips, again to lock them in, you just push them forward. So use a bit of force, and then again like so. And then you've got a 12-volt outlet socket here. That's your right one. Now there are two 12-volt outlet sockets, but I don't know where the other one is, to be honest. I've not found it yet, but I'm sure I will come across it at some point when I'm not looking for it. But again, I've got one. That's all I really need. It's just an extra to have two. So yeah, and then on my Husqvarna Rider Pro 15, I had like some anti-scalping wheels, they called them, that came out around here. Now you have these ones here, and they are a lot better because they are bolted on and they're not sticking out. So that before they were getting lost. So that's a better design on the bigger decks. On that side, it's the same too. So I'll start it up, show you how the hydraulics work, show you how you engage the blades, and show you how the digital display works. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is start the machine up, show you how the hydraulics work. So if cameraman will come out here. So what you do, so as you can see it's in stop, you just turn it to the right and that puts you in the ignition position. That'll turn that on and that'll tell me that the parking brake's engaged. This will not start unless the parking brake is engaged, where before you had to be sat on the seat. So obviously you can start the machine without sitting on the seat, but you have to have the parking brake engaged. But 9 times out of 10 you're going to be sitting on the seat anyway. So I've had this running, I've done, as you can see, I've done 10 minutes with it today running, and I've done a maximum of 2 hours with it, so it's done absolutely nothing. So this one is obviously a different engine, and it's a different design choke mechanism. So before, on the other one, every time you started it, you'd have to put it on a half choke, but with this one, you don't need to at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and start it. It's got no choke on, it's low revs. So try again. This is where it all goes wrong. So I'm going to put a bit of choke on. So you can see it starting. Turn the choke on, and then you can see it running. So here you can see it's got the revs per minute saying low. So that's obviously in the low position. So what I'm going to do is turn the revs up using the RPM lever. I'm going to put it in halfway. So you can see the revs have gone up. And then if I do it again, and then full revs, see, and then back into low revs. And now here, you will see there's like 2 lines here. That is what Husqvarna recommends you should have the revs on, so that you're not using too much fuel, and you're not obviously wearing the engine as much. So right, next I'm going to show you how the hydraulics work. So again, this will work quicker when you've got the engine in full revs, but for now I've just got it in low. So I'm going to lift the handle up, and that will lift the deck up. See? Obviously it's going pretty slow because obviously it's at slow revs. So as you can see, that's fully up, and then drop it down, you push the handle down. So Harry will show you this. So again, to lift it up, as you've just seen, it lifts the deck up, and then to drop it down, push it down. Right, so now the deck is down, but the blades aren't engaged. So to engage the radius, push that up. So I'm not going to do that because obviously I'm not on grass. So if I lift the deck up, see, now if I put it in full revs, lift this up. Revs is in full, obviously it works a lot quicker, the hydraulics. So that is pretty much it. I'll show you how to now put the deck in its service position, as it is a lot easier to do on the 400 series than it is to do on the 300. Okay, so now what we're going to do is show you how to put the deck in its service position. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out and put it all the way down where it shows you the machine and the deck with it out, because that allows you to put the deck up so you can service the blades, or whether it's wash it out or give the blades a change, or you can attach the mulching plug or take the mulching plug out. So now I'm going to have a hand off Harry lifting the deck up. As like I say, it's all new, so it's obviously very stiff, and obviously this is only the second time I've done it, so you've got to bear with me here. Okay, so as you can see now, we've got the machine in its service position. So you might be thinking, what's this black tape? Now this is where you'd fit the mulching plug. As you can see, I've got gloves on, because I don't want people saying, oh, he's touched the blades and he's got no gloves on. So I've got gloves on, so I'm going to move the blade a little bit. So you might be thinking, what's this tape? So this is where you'd fit your mulching plug. So your mulching plate would fit on there, and then you'd put your 3 screws in. Now I've touched the mulching plate off, because I don't very often use the mulching plate, because most places that I go to, I cut it every 2 weeks. And then obviously if I'm cutting it every 2 weeks and it gets quite long, obviously I'm going to be burning the belts out, which I don't want to do. So what I've done, I've took the mulching plate out, and then what I've done is I went to put the screws back in so that the holes didn't fill with grass, but it doesn't actually allow you to do that. So I've just stuck a bit of tape on just to cover the holes up, so that if I ever do want to put it on, the holes aren't full of grass. So as you can see here, is like a little buckler thing. So what this is for is that, so if you're going to a new garden and you're doing the lawn for the first time, and you see a bit, you miss a tree stump and you've hit the mower with the tree stump, this will hit this tree stump first, and it will stop you from damaging your deck or blade, which is a good handy feature for me, because sometimes that does happen when I've gone to a new garden and I've hit something I shouldn't have, and then I'm paying out loads of money to get it fixed. So again, this is quite simply done. It is quite heavy, the deck, it's roughly around 75 kg the deck is, so it's quite heavy to lift, but once you've done it a few times and you've got some muscles, everything's fine. So all you do here is just push that back, lift the handle up and drop it down. So if we set the camera up, we'll show you how to do that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the weight, and then lift that up, sit, and then just drop it down slowly. Sit. Okay, if you got it. Yep. Right, okay. So as you can see, drop it down slowly, and all we're going to do then is just lift it up and then push it into place like so, and then a bit further, and then all we're going to do then is just lock it in, and that's it. That is simply as easy as it's done. Now like I say, it's quite heavy, but again, you're not fiddling around with belts or anything like that. So what I'm going to show you to do now, see, I've showed you how the hydraulics work, I've showed you how to put it in its service position. I'm just going to show you how to engage the blades, because obviously I did went to do that earlier, but it made a noise. That's because I didn't have this here locked into place, because I've shown you how to put it in its service position. So I'm going to take it out of the service position, put the parking brake on, like so, turn the ignition on, start the engine, full revs. That is how you engage the blades. So obviously you can hear the power that it takes out of that. It is a really good engine. So next what I'm going to do, so you've seen how it all works now, I'll show you how to drive in and out of attachments and how the X interchange attachment frame works. Right, so as you can see now, the deck's off. So this is the fancy feature, this is the X interchange attachment frame. So rather than the belts being on the attachment, the belts now are all built into here. So the belts are there, you can see one of them there. That's what drives the PTO. And obviously you've got a chain here which lifts the hydraulics, and then that is your X interchange attachment frame. So over here, as you can see, this is the deck. So it's this year's model, and as you can see, it's got the what are they called, it's got the belts and I can't think of the name for these, that turn the blades, and then the X interchange shaft frame just drives in and it locks into these two here, and then it allows it to then, with the hydraulics, pick it up. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to attach the mower onto the ride-on onto the deck. Right. So, and then going back to these wheels, this is what I'm on about. They're a lot better. The deck is obviously very low at the moment because it's on the ground, and obviously these springs are better designed than the previous pro riders. So yeah, I'll show you how it works. Right, so I'm going to start the machine now, lift the hydraulics up, and then I'll drive into the attachments. As you can see, that's lifted the attachment frame up. So now what I'm going to do is drive into the attachment. Right, lower the attachment frame. Right in. 50 attachment. Engine off. Parking brake on. Right, and then all we do now is obviously we've drove into the attachment, we've lifted the attachment, so now all the belts are in place, and we're just going to give it a last push just to make sure it's in. As you can see, it ain't going to go any further, and then all you do then is push this down. It says, maybe it's a little, there you go, as you can see, and then just lock it in like that. So as you can see, it's simple, drive in and out attachments. And of course, this is only a week I've had it, and I've only took the deck out twice, so just getting used to everything. Obviously it's a very different machine, and you know, once you get used to it, once I've done, you know, say a couple of months with it, and I've got used to that, it's obviously going to make life a lot easier. So overall on the mower, my opinion on it is I think it's absolutely brilliant. Well worth the money. Very expensive, but obviously it's a very good piece of kit, and like I say, I'm doing roughly about 6 to 7 hours with it a week, so hopefully this is going to last me a very long time. The guy in the shop reckons 10 years, so hopefully, you know, 10 years and I'll earn, you know, the money back that I paid for this, because it's, like I say, a lot of money. So overall, it's a brilliant mower. Like I say, I can only give you my first impressions because I've only had it a week, and then next year in the spring, I'll once I've used it a fair bit, I'll give you a review on it. Okay guys, so I hope you've all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and just so you know, I'm not paid or sponsored by Husqvarna. This is me out of my own time making this video for you guys, to help you guys, whether you're a professional gardener or whether you're looking for a ride-on for your own garden. But if you are looking for a garden for your own ride-on, I wouldn't suggest this, because this is built for professional users. So if you're looking, you know, maybe just maintaining your own garden, maybe look at the 300 series or the 100 or the 200 series. 1 to 300 series is more domestic machines, and then the 400 and 500 is the professional machines, and this is obviously 400 series because it's the 420. This is the biggest Husqvarna rider they do in the rider range, so this is the biggest domestic machine they do, and then the 500 series is classed as very professional. This is classed as semi-professional, but it's still a professional graded machine. So like I say guys, thanks everyone for watching, and if you will, please do subscribe, it will help me out. Obviously I am going to try and make some more videos, now I've got a bit more time this time of year. I'm going to try record a few more videos and get them out there, so please do subscribe, like the video and comment and all that great stuff. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.